most wonderful time of the year, isn't it just? Especially this year. I mean, the most wonderful time of this year is probably going to be when it ends. But anyway, enough about that. No one cares. It's all about this guy. Tommy, hello. Good morning. How are you?
Hello, Dan. Happy Christmas time. How are you?
Happy Christmas time. I like how you did that.
Yep.
11th of December then, second Friday of the month. Tommy, that can only mean one thing, right?
Yep. We're now on my third favourite film, Christmas film of all time.
So just a reminder to everybody. Sorry, Tommy. Just a reminder to everybody.
No, by all means.
In fourth place last week was Home Alone 2: Lost in New York, which is a good film.
Yep.
Very good film. So this week,
Fantastic.
number 3, over to you.
Is 2000's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Or, if you lived in the UK, it might have just merely been titled The Grinch. As it was to us, wasn't it?
It was indeed. I know it as The Grinch. It's a brilliant film, Tommy.
It really is, you know. I just... What I wrote about on here, I just said... Dr. Seuss and his marvellous imagination invented a short story back in 1957. That's how old the the story was. About a grouchy green creature who lives above a town that adored everything about Christmas. A difficult sell to turn into a live-action film, but boy, does it deliver. It really does, doesn't it?
I mean, a film about you, Tommy, is always going to deliver.
I'm not as green as the Grinch, but I'm just as green.
Carry on, sorry.
First off, casting Jim Carrey as the title of villain / hero of the story, depending on which way you view him, was nothing short of brilliance. His improv, facial expressions, and his Sean Connery-inspired speech are all gifts sitting under the film's metaphorical Christmas tree.
Yes.
Makeup artist Rick Baker, best known for his work on American Werewolf in London, designed the look of the Who's and the Grinch himself. So that's a nice little connection to a previous film that we've talked about.
I was going to say you've reviewed that film in the past, but I think it's got to be best known for the Grinch by now, though. Surely it's on every year on ITV2.
I do think American Werewolf might be his outstanding achievement, but the Grinch is just as impressive, I think. You know, Jim Carrey had to be buried alive in this costume over 100 times during production, and it took roughly eight hours to apply each day. Can you imagine?
Wow,
the stress became so much for Carrey that the producer hired a Navy SEAL operative who was qualified in training people on how to endure torture, which led to Jim Carrey chain smoking, listening to the Bee Gees, and overall changing his pattern every hour to keep it together.
Goodness.
They literally had to hire somebody who teaches you how to endure torture to go through that makeup procedure. That's just inspired, isn't it?
Do you know, hats off to him. I mean, that's awful, but at the same time, hats off to Jim Carrey. Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
They pulled it off with a cracking film.
And all he kept saying to himself, Jim Carrey quoted this, he said, well, as he was getting it all done, he was just thinking, it's for the kids, they'll love the film, it's for the kids.
What a guy.
I know, what a guy. At its heart, this movie itself, it is a Scrooge type of time kind of story, where with there being someone who initially hates Christmas due to its relevance to a dark time in his life, and by the end of the film discovers the love and joy that Christmas is meant to inspire each year. The character of the young Whoville girl, Cindy Lou, is the link. She's the real link to the plot, in that she both wants to understand the real meaning of Christmas and wants people to give the Grinch a chance. You know, so it's just she's kind of the catalyst for the plot, really, because she's the one who. She wants to, like I say, she wants the people of Whoville to understand what the real meaning of Christmas is, but also wants the people of Whoville to give the Grinch a chance, because he's not all bad. He's just a bit mean.
Mean, green, and...
mean, green, and pristine.
I'm glad you thought of a third there. I couldn't think of one. So, overall,
the theme of Christmas...
Go on, carry on.
Sorry.
No, you carry on.
I was going to say.
You're better than me.
I was just going to say the theme of Christmas not just being about presents, parties, and pretty lights is something very relevant, as a lot of people today maybe don't realise the real meaning of Christmas that is so heavily influenced in this film, which is spending time with those you care about.
Yeah.
Which is what the people of Whoville become to the Grinch in the end. He cares about them.
Absolutely.
He just has to steal Christmas from them to figure that out.
I love that. Tommy, do you have a star rating for this?
I do, and to close, this film is a joy to... I'm sorry?
So, no, sorry, you carry on. It's me. I'm jumping the gun. Carry on, I want to hear you talk.
No. I was just going to say, to close, this film is a joy to watch each Christmas, as I remember seeing it in the theatres when I was 5 years old and still enjoying it today at 25 years old.
Wow.
The themes are strong, the comedic performance of Jim Carrey is unmatched, and the visual style that director Ron Howard brought to the screen is a very original execution. So, on that note, I'm going to award this film 4 stars out of 5.
Ooh, I thought you were going to go full 5 there, but I like your score. I would have gone 5 myself.
Now, for people who are keeping track with my... You'd have gone for 5?
I would have gone for 5.
Hats off to you.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. But for me...
It's a good film.
I think... Ironically, Home Alone 2 last week, of course, that got 4.5 stars from me. Yet this film, The Grinch, is higher on the Christmas list.
That's
which
true.
Purely means... Which can be a bit of a controversial choice, but my reasoning for that is I think Home Alone 2 Lost in New York is a better made movie, but this is not a film, a countdown we're doing of better made movies. This is a countdown of Christmas movies. And in regards to the comparison with those two, I think The Grinch is a stronger Christmas movie, and that's why that sits on 3rd, whereas Home Alone 2 Lost in New York sits at 4th.
Ah, very clever. I have to say, you were mentioning that you saw this in the theatres with your family. I remember we rented this from Choices back in the day. That was before Blockbuster. And my dad fell asleep in the middle. He fell asleep throughout the whole film. So he missed it the first time. But he's definitely seen it now, and we bring it up every time it's on telly as well. But no, a great film. No doubt that.
That is usually on around Christmas as well, but I don't think it's on any of the prime days like Christmas Eve or Christmas Day or Boxing Day. It's usually like the week before Christmas they put it on.
Yes, it is.
But don't worry, we're not going to place another bet on this movie.
No.
We've got the one bet, haven't we?
Yeah, no more bets, please. Sound like I'm working in a bookie set. No, right, no more bets. We're closed. Well, Tommy, thank you again for another review. I look forward to next week, because next week is going to be...
I can't wait.
It's going to be 1 week till Christmas next week. How mad is that?
I mean, the next 2 Christmas films that I want to talk about, they really do have a soft spot in my heart. So I'm really looking forward to sharing that with you and everyone who's listening.
As am I. Tommy, as always, thank you very much for your take on the movie side of things, and in particular, The Grinch, or How the Grinch Stole Christmas, depending on where you are, who you're from, and what time you discovered the film. But I look forward to speaking to you next week. Have a good weekend, Tommy.
Yep, I hope you have a great weekend, Dan, and I look forward to speaking to you next week.